Okay. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. There's been a lot of stuff that's happening these days. Trying to keep track of everything Trump's doing is a full-time job almost, isn't it?
Yes, a lot of stuff's going on.
A lot of stuff's happening. There's been the Pakistan India thing, right?
Yeah.
China, the tariffs. I think overall we're in a good position tariff-wise.
I think so too. I was a little bit concerned, but it looks like it's going to turn out.
Yeah. I know a lot of people were understandably very, very nervous when the tariff talk started and the whole back and forth. But I called it, I said it, but I did believe at the time that it was Trump being Trump. Trump giving these wild figures and then coming back, just like business negotiations, right? You always oversell. You always promise more and then rein it back in, right? It's a typical Trump tactic.
He does that.
He does that. But there's so much more going on that I really want to get to. And one of the things that we're seeing is this the Biden stuff, which we'll get to in a second. But first, so they had this group of lawmakers, some from Congress, some from local, that raided an ICE facility. They just showed up and expected to be given free reign of the place. And it doesn't work that way. I don't care who you are. You can't just show up to a facility and demand entry, a secure facility. This isn't like your Social Security office, right? Congress should, in my opinion, be able to go to a Social Security office and walk in and go, okay, everything okay here? This is different.
They should have oversight over this place too.
They should.
The tactics that they used wasn't correct.
Right. There's ways that you go about things. They know this. They've done this before.
They wanted to show.
Works.
They wanted to show.
Mm-hmm.
And the publicity. I think the guy who's the mayor of Newark.
Yeah.
He's running for governor.
Him.
He's running for governor.
Oh, he is.
So he's trying to get publicity.
He wanted that viral moment. Okay. I got a video for you guys from one of my favorite channels, Memology. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about here. Here we go. Newark Mayor Ross. How do you say? Is it Ross Baraka?
Baraka?
I don't know.
Never heard of him.
You know who Baraka from Mortal Kombat, the guy with the blades on his hands? That's who Baraka will always be as far as I'm concerned. But anyway, he claims ICE, quote, completely violated his rights, end quote, by arresting him after he broke federal law by trespassing into the ICE facility in Newark. His words are interesting. Check this out.
You know, you had a harrowing day, an absurd day today. I think a day that's really outraged a lot of people, including myself. Have you thought about taking any legal action in light of what took place today and what happened to you?
Well, I mean,
yeah, he's going to need a lawyer. Let me make that clear, but not for the reasons she's talking about. Here we go.
We're going through this process now, and obviously I will confer with my lawyers to figure out what's the best pathway forward on this. I think they completely violated my rights. I'm the mayor of the city. I have the right to go anywhere in this city.
No.
Right. Think about that. The mayor of your city believes he can just walk into your house or your business whenever he wants. It doesn't work that way, homie.
Particularly in places where I think our laws are being violated. I went on up on in a driveway with our healthcare inspectors and our fire inspectors early on, and we've been doing that for the last couple of days. They've been ignoring us, and actually the Congress people who have oversight on this went onto the property and tried to get inside, and they made them wait over an hour, and they never got in. Never.
They mentioned that, and one of the things that the congresswoman I spoke with alluded to is that she thinks they were tipped off, that perhaps they were tipped off to you coming. I don't know. Of course, this all needs to be looked into, but the nature of your arrest with masked members of ICE just felt, and we've all seen the video, I mean, incredibly suspect.
And I'm gonna say this to the ICE agents who are wearing masks. I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
Like they will dox you quicker than crap now, man. And you'll have crazed leftists outside your house wanting to burn it down and do all kinds of insane things.
That's insane.
But, bruh,
Just
finish
watching
this
it.
real quick.
I wanted to,
it was terrible.
go. One of
Yeah,
two of my
they obviously targeted me. It was more. I wasn't the only one out there. They came directly to me. Right?
Now, look at this.
And
He's the only one on the property.
tried to arrest me. No one else. Me. I'm the mayor of the city. I have the right to go anywhere in this city.
I'm the man up in this piece. You'll never see the light of day. Who the fuck you think you fucking with? I'm the police. I run shit here. You just live here.
Great movie, by the way. Training Day. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. Good flick. But this is one example of the left's consistent rules for thee, but not for me. Right? So let's jump really briefly because before we started the show, I asked if Shawn was familiar with something, and he was not. I'm gonna get exactly what I'm looking for right now, but
About Pam Bondi.
yeah, let's see here. See if I can find it. There it is. So Rolling Stone is reporting on it. But here it says this is, of course, how they frame it, right? Trump DOJ considers making it easier to indict members of Congress. The plan would end the requirement that the Justice Department's public integrity section approve prosecutions of lawmakers and other public officials.
And then you see that headline and go, wow, that's not good.
Yeah, they're going after the people who disagree with them. No, that's actually not what's happening. They're weighing a move that could end the public integrity section's power to oversee indictments of members of Congress, potentially opening the door to politically motivated prosecutions, the Washington Post reports. You know what else it opens the door for? Accountability.
That is true.
Accountability, because these fucking members of Congress have been shielded from prosecution after prosecution. It says here, if the proposed changes go through, U.S. attorneys, positions appointed by the president. Now, remember, they were perfectly okay with all this under Biden, could indict members of Congress without the sign off from attorneys in the public integrity section, which has shielded these criminals from prosecution for decades, reducing the office's ethical watchdog role. Prosecutors would no longer need to consult Penn at key points during investigations and prosecutions of public officials in all three branches of government, including federal, state, and local lawmakers, as well as judges.
Wow.
I see no problem with that. The Department of Justice is the Department of Justice, or is supposed to be. But let's continue. The PIN was established following the Watergate scandal, quote, in order to consolidate in one unit of the criminal division the department's oversight responsibilities for the prosecution of criminal abuses of the public trust by government officials, the DOJ website states. PIN also, quote, supervises the nationwide investigation and prosecution of election crimes. Now that's interesting.
That is
interesting. So it consolidates in one unit the department's oversight responsibilities for prosecuting bribery, all these other crimes, potentially even treason. But it also supervises the nationwide investigation and prosecution of election crimes. According to the paper, a source confirmed the proposed change is being reviewed, but has not yet been decided. Now, this was May 18th, so a couple days ago. I could have sworn I saw where they had actually done it. But in March, Senator Sheldon Whitehouse, ranking member of the Senate Judiciary Committee on Federal Courts, raised the alarm in a letter to Bondi requesting information about the dismantling of PIN after AP reported that DOJ had reduced the size of the office from 30 prosecutors to around 5. Some of the reductions in staff came from resignations among PIN leadership when a top DOJ official directed prosecutors to drop corruption charges against Eric Adams, mayor of New York. Quote, any move that further weakens the public integrity section would signal that the Trump Department of Justice intends not to protect the American people against corruption, the Rhode Island Democrat wrote. Created in response to Watergate, the public integrity section exists to ensure that the Department of Justice fairly and thoroughly investigates corruption by government officials at the federal, state, and local level without regard to those officials' political views or allegiances. This section has steadfastly pursued justice against both Republicans and Democrats. Bullshit. PIN prosecutors have been involved in the Adams corruption investigation and indictment and prosecution of former Democratic Senator Bob Menendez, who was sentenced to 11 years in prison for corruption-related charges. The office also intervened when now former interim U.S. Attorney Ed Martin sought to prosecute Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer for remarks he made about two Supreme Court justices years before. Yeah, remember that?
I do.
Yeah, PIN, of course, told Martin that the comments were not a prosecutable threat, according to multiple Post sources. Now, I guarantee you, if it was one of us that had said the shit he said, that's our ass. Quote, this is part of a shift in limiting the power of law enforcement experts in public corruption, Georgetown law professor and former PIN attorney Paul Butler told
I just hope they don't overreach and go after them for...
I don't want any politically motivated prosecutions. Let's be perfectly clear about that. Regardless of who, I don't want anyone prosecuted simply because they're of a particular political party. I don't want any of that.
We saw that with Trump.
We saw what they did against Trump, and it's disgusting.
I don't know about them going after state and local people though. That should be more of a state issue.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. Here's the thing: the Justice Department is supposed to let corresponding agencies know, and hey, we received this report, pass it along to the proper agency. Now, whether they do, that's something else. Then. That's different. But what's your happiness level so far? Right, 0 to 10. 0 is some of these lefties 86-47, right? Which we know what that means. We'll get to that in just a moment. I got some stuff for you guys, but. That's a 0, right? A 10 is MAGA all the way. Trump could shoot someone on Central Avenue, and I still never turn against him. What's your happiness level with? Let's start with Trump.
We're talking about like how he's doing.
Yeah, how he's doing as president.
I give him an 8.
Give him an 8. Okay, that's some high praise. That's really good.
There's only been a few times that I've seen things that I don't like that idea.
Right. It's like, I'm not sure I feel about that. I think overall he's killing it, man. He's killing it. What about Pam Bondi?
I haven't been paying a lot of attention. I haven't heard a lot from her. I'm kind of disappointed about the Epstein. Yeah,
that's what I was going to say. I went from very excited and very, okay, we're finally going to see some stuff to... I hear a lot of talking, a whole lot of talking, and not too much other stuff. I'm not really seeing the kind of, I'm not seeing the kind of prosecutions that I want to see. I want to see these criminals arrested, perp walked, and I want to see actual trials.
I give her a 7.
Okay. There's one more thing that I want to jump in here. Okay. Yeah. So this whole Biden thing, that's what I was talking about earlier. Let's jump on this real quick, because one of the things I've noticed is that these people are acting like the diagnosis that he has, prostate cancer, right, somehow shields him from any accountability for anything.
They're using that.
Oh, absolutely. Here's one example here.
And I hope he gets better.
So do I. Let me make one thing perfectly clear. Cancer is evil. I have witnessed people dying from cancer. I watched my dad die from cancer. My grandmother had died from cancer. Like, I've had multiple people in my life. My brother died from cancer. Like, I don't wish cancer on my worst enemy. Not even Joe Biden.
No.
I don't want any of that. But having cancer does not mean you are suddenly immune to criticism or accountability.
Yeah, they're kind of using that now.
So this is Hakeem Jeffries, right? He says it's inappropriate to bring up his cognitive decline cover-up. Calls the whole thing a conspiracy theory.
Given the revelations with President Biden's cancer diagnosis and the release of the Her recording, why were Democrats?
Let's talk briefly about the Her recording, because some people are aware of it, some are not.
Yep.
That was huge. That was huge. Suddenly, right, we see, and you can hear it yourself. And I urge people to go and listen to it. If you have any doubt that there was a cover-up happening, that there was severe cognitive decline happening, if you have any doubt left, go listen to the recording itself. It's out there.
It's not more open to talking about President Biden's age in 2024.
My thoughts and prayers have been extended to President Biden. It's a painful moment for him and his family. It's a very serious diagnosis. My expectation that President Biden is going to meet this moment with the courage and resilience that he's consistently shown. It seems to me entirely inappropriate that at this moment in time, when President Biden is dealing with a serious and aggressive form of cancer, there are Republicans who are peddling conspiracy theories and want us to look backward.
No.
Oh, really, dude?
At a time when they actually are taking health care away from the American people. No, as House Democrats, we're going to look forward. They literally are trying to take health care away from millions of Americans at this very moment in the dead of night.
That's 100% a lie.
Yeah.
And Republicans want to fan the flames of conspiracy theories at this moment. No, thank you.
I am the one, the way your son don't need a gun.
That's just one example. The other thing, the last clip that I'm going to play for you guys today, because I think it's important, is watch this. CNN's Jake Tapper, who helped cover up Biden's cognitive decline, is now using clips of Trump to promote his book, which exposes the cover-up of Biden's cognitive decline. You can't make this up.
New revelations in my upcoming book with Alex Thompson. I'm not sure if you've heard of it. It's on Biden's decline. It's called Original Sin. The book and excerpts and reviews and such have resurfaced the conversation about age and President Biden's aging. And there's been a lot of talk about the unreleased as yet audio of Biden's 2023 interviews with Special Counsel Robert Hur.
Which we've now
Those
heard.
interviews, among other factors, led Hur and his team of prosecutors to conclude that while they thought Biden mishandled classified information, they couldn't successfully prosecute him because a jury would not convict, quote, a sympathetic, well-meaning elderly man with a poor memory, unquote. They didn't think they could get a conviction. Today, President Trump was asked whether he will release the audio of the tapes, which prior Attorney General under Joe Biden, Merrick Garland, had blocked from release.
That's up to Pam and the group. I haven't really looked into it. Look, everybody understands the condition of him. I know people that are 89, 90, 92, 93 years old that are literally perfect.
Yeah.
But Joe was not one of them. And they did a lot of hiding.
Listen.
Fact check. True.
Whoa! I did not see that coming.
When even Jake Tapper knows that this is no conspiracy theory, it's fact. It's a conspiracy fact. These people hid. They had an interview. I'm not going to show you the clip, but they had an interview with Whitmer, the
governor of Michigan.
Governor of Michigan, right? Good old Whitmer. They asked her, well, you didn't see anything? She was one of his campaign managers for him, and Harris was with him all of these stops.
You mean surrogate? I think she was a surrogate.
She was what?
A surrogate?
No, she was on the campaign team. She even admits
on the
it.
Campaign team?
Yeah, hold on. I maybe I will play the clip. Hang on, because I want you to see this. This is wild, guys. Anyway, she's like, "Oh, I didn't spend any time with him." Here it is. Okay, so
I guess she was.
Yeah, here it goes. Check this out. It's a short clip, 1.5 minutes. Here we go.
Or not? I don't know.
Watch.
Okay, I'm watching.
Watch. She was the co-chair of Joe Biden's 2024 re-election campaign, but claims she wasn't aware of his cognitive decline because she, quote, didn't see him frequently. Even though there are tons of pictures of them together, guys. Once again, avoidance, backpedaling, gaslighting.
I want to move to another topic, and that is my colleague's book with Alex Thompson on President Biden's physical and cognitive decline during his time in the White House. You were a co-chair of the Biden-Harris campaign. You stuck with Biden until he dropped out of the race. Given your position in the campaign, what signs of decline did you notice?
You know, I've not read the book. I can tell you this, that as the book reports, cabinet members didn't have access. That tells you that, as a governor at a state, halfway across the country who was working her tail off, 160 stops on a bus tour that I headlined through swing states. I didn't, I was busy working. I was busy doing the connection and the voter registration. And so I can't speak to that directly.
So you didn't see any.
I didn't see the president frequently, and I can tell you, I can't speak to that directly.
Whatever you say, George.
Whatever you say, George. Exactly. Come on, man. Really? All these people are full of it. We all know that. It's been proven. Now the question is, who had the auto pen?
That's what I want to know. And the House is going to investigate.
Yeah, because if what they're saying is true, if Biden actually had a form of dementia or at minimum was cognitively impaired, that's what the 25th Amendment is actually for.
And there was time when I said that they really should have need to use the 25th Amendment. Though I'm like, I don't want Harris.
Definitely didn't want Harris, right?
But for the love of my country.
Right. It's like we have someone, obviously, look, guys, we all know that the entire Biden presidency was the shadow government. We know this. Every American with any sense knows that Biden wasn't running things. Who was? I think it's important for America to know who had the power, who was the real president, who was the person that was authorizing all this stuff.
And I'm thinking that someday we're going to know.
Speaking of, if you look at Truth Social, do you check out Truth Social?
I don't.
There's a particular thing that I want to show you right now. Come on. Okay, fine. Use the cookies. I don't want to sign in. I just want to read. Okay. You're going too fast. Please wait a moment and try again. Yeah. Okay. Dude, come on, man. You got to be better than this. I own stock in this damn thing. whole one share. Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I bought one just cause, man. I wanted to see. You know what? It's fine. Anyway, Trump, in his latest Truth Social post, at least the one I checked right before I came on, even says Biden himself would not have wanted all these illegal aliens coming in the country. He wasn't for open borders.
I've heard that.
So Trump asked, so who was? Who was the person that was making these decisions? Who had control of the auto pen?
And there's a few people that come to mind. It
Yeah.
could have been Kamala.
Yep. It could have been
Valerie Jarrett.
Possible.
Or even Joe Biden.
Yeah.
It could have been Jill.
It could have been Jill. It's going to be interesting. And I'm going to pay close attention to the investigation here because America deserves the truth. We deserve to know who's really running our country.
And that should also cause some more problems because if whatever the auto pen sign is void.
Right. Well, so I'm honestly not sure of the legality of that because allegedly, according to the laws that they put in place, it doesn't matter. Check this out. Hold on. Let me find this real quick. Yes, it is legal for a president to use an auto pen. There is no law or constitutional provision prohibiting the use of an auto pen to sign legislation or pardons, according to the AP News.
That's frightening.
The Justice Department has previously issued opinions stating that a president can sign a bill by directing a subordinate to affix the signature, including by auto pen. While there have been debates and political challenges to the use of auto pens, especially in regards to signing pardons, the legality itself remains unchallenged. For example, a 2024 ruling by the Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals stated that pardons do not even need to be written. In May 2011, Obama became the first president to use an auto pen to sign a bill. And in May 2024, Joe Biden also used it to sign a bill. Not a pill, a bill. So I think that needs to be revisited. I really think that needs to be revisited, especially given the current situation. Who has access? And does that person using the auto pen without presidential authority, is that different than what we're talking about? And I think it is. I think it very assuredly is. Because if Joe Biden has no recollection of signing any of this stuff and didn't direct it, who did? Who did? And what sort of authority is vested in that person to allow them to do such a thing?
We need a constitutional amendment.
We need
banning
something.
that.
We have to address this. We do. And that's the other thing, right? A lot of this stuff is really interesting timing wise because had 2020, let's just say had it been different and Trump had been sworn in as president in 2020, let's just say that, he'd be done now. But they couldn't have that. They couldn't allow that. So they did what they did. And now Trump does, he doesn't give a damn anymore.
No.
Like, I don't know if you guys have heard him recently, but he talks like a man who just does not give a flying F, like he's like, yep.
Yep. You can throw everything at me.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah. He even, he was at some fancy dinner and he's like, if they hadn't, his words, if they hadn't cheated in 2020, then I'd have been president and I'd be retired, but I decided instead to shove it up their ass.
Did he?
Yeah, he did. I was like, oh my God. Okay. This was after he won 2024 election.
Wow.
So
I missed that.
Yeah, he just doesn't care anymore.
No.
He just doesn't care.
He's been through so much.
I get it, man. It's hard to say what you and I would do. We don't have his resources. We don't have any of that. But even in his position, the sheer volume of hate, which is what I want to talk about to kind of wrap up at the end here, this whole 86-47 crap. Now, have you guys heard James Comey, the former FBI director, put out some tweet or post where he was on the beach and he found these seashells arranged in a manner that spelled out 86-47. Now, it just sounds like numbers, right? What the hell does that mean? And more importantly, how would the FBI director, not former FBI director, not know what this means? Give me a break. What does 86 mean? Yes, I want that. Eject or bar someone, reject, discard, or cancel. No, this is not what that means.
Get rid of something.
This is what it means right here. Eliminate something or someone. That's what it means. To 86 something means to get rid of it. 86 someone, get rid of them. Yeah. Military/law enforcement, 86 can have a much more serious connotation, meaning eliminate/kill. And you can't tell me that the director of the, because it's a common term in law enforcement. You can't tell me that the former director of the FBI had no idea what that meant.
He did.
Damn right he did. No, interesting note here locally. We were coming back from somewhere and there was a car full of the usual bumper stickers, right? The coexist and the, what was the other one? I don't know. Peace, love, crap, whatever. Cool. Except they had one at 86-47.
Oh,
now here's an interesting thing. They had the Air Force veteran license plate or Army. No, that one I think was Navy veteran. The individual driving was far too young to be a veteran. I'm just going to say, like, they might have been 18. They were young. So what I'm guessing is the parent probably got the part plated with their license plate. And now this individual is pissing all over what they fought for. Like, you're calling for the assassination of the president of the United States.
That's not acceptable
for
anybody.
No, it's not. That's like Gretchen. I think it was Gretchen Whitmer had the same thing at one point behind her. Did you see that?
I did not.
Let me make sure. Let's see. Here it is. Okay, there were several of them.
Wow, yes.
So according to this, James Comey, Trump threat row. Gretchen Whitmer, Matt Gaetz's old 86 claims.
That's the 86-45.
Claims, yep. Yeah, this is back when he was president before. You can see it right here in the background. I know it's kind of hard to see. Let me see if I can zoom in. See, 86-45 right behind her. And it's just one of many. James Comey, again, says he posted a shell formation, appeared to form 86-47. Cool shell formation on my beach walk.
He knew.
He knew. Come on, man. Like, you're the one who did it. Give me a break. Like, you know damn good and well what it means.
I think he's seeking attention.
He's always been an attention seeker. That's just how James Comey is, and wasn't a good FBI director at all. I mean, he, in my opinion, really did the vast majority of the recent damage that the FBI suffered to their reputation was because of him.
Did you see they're moving their headquarters, FBI?
I did. Yeah. Do you know the new location yet?
I think they said, I want to say Atlanta, but let me find out.
I know that they're distributing the agents, which is what should be happening. They should be. Oh, I want to address one thing really quickly. So one of the things Hakeem Jeffries claimed was that Republicans were taking everybody's health insurance. That's crap. I actually read the changes that they want to make to Medicaid, Medicare, all that stuff. I read through all of it. All they are doing is adding work requirements for those that can work. If you're disabled, you don't have to work. But if you're an able-bodied individual, why should you not be working? In order to receive benefits, you're going to have to get a job. Tragic, right? God forbid you should have to go out and earn money. But those people that are getting assistance because they genuinely need it, whether they be disabled, elderly, unable to work, those people have the same. They haven't changed anything other than saying, hey, get off your lazy ass and go work. It's the end of the world to these people because it's not about what they're actually doing. It's about what they can tell you that they're doing and you believe them. Not you, because you watch me, so you know better, but
it doesn't say where. I thought for some reason they said Atlanta, but maybe I was wrong.
We'll find out. All right, guys.
Just leaving DC.
They're shutting down the Hoover building, which
is good because it says it's unsafe.
It's been unable to be used for a while now because it's unsafe. It's old. It's falling apart. They showed pictures. Like,
we did a show on that.
Yeah, it's awful. It's absolutely awful. It should be shut down. And of course, the left are losing their minds about that too. I genuinely feel bad at this point for people with Teslas because they're going nuts with these Teslas, dude. Spray painting them, scratching them. I don't care whether you drive a Prius. I have never in my life attacked someone's vehicle because I didn't like the vehicle they drive. Like, live and let live, dude. I don't care if you drive. I don't care if you drive an electric vehicle. I don't care if you drive a gas-powered vehicle. I don't care if you got a moped or walk. I don't care.
Yeah, it's not my business.
It's not my business. But yet, what can we be mad about this week? What does the TV tell us to be mad about this week? Tesla, which again, as we're seeing, these are paid agitators that are bussed from location to location. Shocking. I wonder who would have anything to gain by that. Follow the money. Always follow the money. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate your time. Shawn's got to get going.
Yep.
He's the one today with the limit. All right, guys. As always, God bless you. God bless Indiana, and God bless the United States of America. I truly appreciate the time that you spend with us, and we'll see you again real soon.